The atmosphere inside the Loose Women's studio was unusually tense long before the cameras rolled. Producers sensed it, runners whispered about it, and even the makeup artists exchanged wary glances as Piers Morgan took his seat opposite the panel. Piers, never a stranger to controversy, wore a familiar half-smile, confident, defiant, and clearly ready for confrontation. Denise Welch sat a few chairs away, her posture calm but her eyes alert, as if she already knew the discussion would not stay polite for long. The episode was meant to focus on free speech in modern Britain, a topic that had become synonymous with Piers Morgan himself. He had been invited to stir debate, boost ratings, and challenge the panel's perspectives. What no one expected was just how quickly the conversation would spiral out of control. As the show went live, the host opened with light banter, easing viewers into the discussion. Piers cracked a joke about daytime television being the last battleground of real opinions, drawing a mix of laughter and forced smiles. Denise smiled politely, but said nothing. Those who knew her well could tell she was waiting. The first few minutes passed smoothly. Piers argued that people were becoming too easily offended, claiming that robust debate was being replaced by outrage culture. One of the panelists pushed back gently, but the exchange remained civil. Denise listened intently, nodding occasionally, her hands folded neatly in her lap. Then Piers turned directly to her. "Denise," he said, leaning forward, "you've spoken openly about mental health and responsibility in the media. Don't you think constant calls to cancel people actually do more harm than good?" The question was pointed, and Denise didn't hesitate. "I think," she replied evenly, "that accountability isn't the same as cancellation. Words matter, Piers, especially when they come from people with huge platforms." A subtle shift rippled through the studio. Piers' smile tightened. "But who decides what's acceptable?" He shot back. "Because lately it seems like a very small, very loud group gets to silence everyone else." Denise straightened in her chair. "No one is silencing you," she said calmly. "You're here, on national television, talking. The issue is whether you're willing to accept that some of what you say can cause real harm." The audience murmured. Piers let out a short laugh. "Harm," he repeated. "Having an opinion is now harmful. That's absurd." Denise's voice remained steady, but there was steel beneath it. "Mocking people's struggles, dismissing mental health, or fueling hostility, yes, that can be harmful." That was the moment the conversation ignited. Piers raised his eyebrows dramatically. "I've never dismissed mental health. In fact, I've spoken more honestly about it than most people, too afraid to say what they really think." Denise shook her head. "You speak loudly, Piers. That's not the same thing." A sharp intake of breath could be heard from one of the panelists. The host attempted to intervene, but Piers pressed on. "So now I'm loud and wrong," he said. "Typical. If someone disagrees with you, they're automatically a villain." Denise's expression hardened. "No. If someone refuses to listen, they're a problem." The studio fell silent for a split second, just long enough for the tension to become unmistakable. Piers leaned back, crossing his arms. "I listen just fine. I just don't accept being lectured by celebrities who think feelings should trump facts." That did it. Denise turned fully toward him. "This isn't about celebrity, and it's not about feelings over facts. It's about empathy, something you consistently ridicule." Gasps rippled through the audience. Social media feeds, unbeknownst to the guests, were already lighting up. Piers' voice rose. "Empathy doesn't mean agreeing with everyone. It doesn't mean shutting down debate because someone might be upset." Denise replied firmly, "And debate doesn't mean shouting people down or belittling them." The host tried again to regain control. "Okay, let's just—" "No," Piers interrupted, holding up a hand. "I'm tired of this sanctimonious nonsense." Denise's jaw tightened. "And I'm tired of people excusing cruelty as honesty." The exchange was no longer a discussion, it was a standoff. Producers began signaling from off-camera, urging the host to steer the conversation elsewhere. But the damage was done. Piers leaned forward again, his tone sharp. "People like you," he said, "are the reason no one can speak freely anymore." Denise didn't flinch. "People like you are the reason so many feel afraid to speak at all." The words hung in the air like smoke. For a moment, Piers looked genuinely stunned. Then his face flushed. "That's a ridiculous accusation," he snapped. "I defend free speech for everyone. Except when it challenges you, Denise replied quietly. The audience broke into audible reactions, some clapping, some murmuring in disagreement. The host's smile had vanished entirely now. All right, the host said firmly, we're going to take a quick break. But Piers wasn't finished. No, let's not hide behind a break, he said, turning toward the camera. Viewers deserve to see how dissenting voices are treated. Denise exhaled slowly. This isn't dissent. This is disrespect. At that point, a producer's voice could be faintly heard through the host's earpiece. Her expression changed. Piers, she said carefully, we need you to lower your tone. Piers scoffed. Or what? You'll kick me off for having an opinion. Denise looked away, shaking her head, as if realizing there was nowhere left for the conversation to go. The host paused, then spoke words no one expected to hear live on air. Piers, I'm sorry, but we're going to have to ask you to step off the panel. The studio erupted. Piers stared at her, incredulous. You're joking. I'm not, she replied. We can't continue like this. For a split second, it seemed like Piers might argue further. Cameras zoomed in, capturing every flicker of emotion on his face, anger, disbelief, and something else beneath it all. He stood abruptly, chair scraping loudly against the floor. This, he said coldly, is exactly what I was talking about. Denise remained seated, her hands clasped tightly, her face pale but resolute. As Piers walked off set, the audience buzzed with shock. The show cut to an early break, leaving viewers at home stunned, and desperate to know what would happen next. When Loose Women returned from the unexpected break, the atmosphere in the studio felt completely different. The empty chair where Piers Morgan had been sitting seemed louder than any argument, an unspoken reminder of what had just happened. The host took a slow breath, glanced at the panel, and turned to the camera with a carefully composed expression. Well, she began, that escalated quickly. A nervous ripple of laughter moved through the audience, but it faded almost immediately. Denise Welch sat very still, her hands folded, eyes fixed ahead. She looked shaken, yet determined, as if she understood the weight of the moment and the storm that was about to follow outside the studio. The host addressed the viewers directly. We invited Piers Morgan on today to have a robust discussion. Unfortunately, the conversation crossed a line, and we made the decision to ask him to leave. The words were calm, but the tension beneath them was unmistakable. One of the panelists spoke up gently. These conversations matter, she said. But respect has to come first. Denise finally turned toward her, nodding. Exactly, she added. Disagreement isn't the problem. It's how we disagree. Applause broke out, louder this time, as if the audience needed to release what they'd been holding in since the confrontation. The show tried to continue, shifting toward a discussion about media responsibility, but the energy never fully recovered. Every comment felt heavier, more careful, as though everyone was acutely aware they were now part of television history. Behind the scenes, however, the real drama was only just beginning. In the hallway outside the studio, Piers Morgan was pacing furiously. Producers attempted to calm him, but he waved them off, his voice echoing down the corridor. This is outrageous, he snapped. They invite me on for debate and then throw me out for debating. A senior producer tried to reason with him. Piers, it wasn't about your opinion. It was about the way the discussion was going. Piers let out a bitter laugh. That's always the excuse. Within minutes, his phone was in his hand. He typed rapidly, firing off messages, already shaping the narrative in his head. By the time Loose Women ended, Piers had posted a statement online, calling the incident a textbook example of how dissent is punished on daytime television. Social media exploded. Clips of the clash spread across platforms at lightning speed. Hashtags trended within the hour, some supporting Denise Welch for standing her ground, others backing Piers for what they called speaking uncomfortable truths. Comment sections turned into battlegrounds, with viewers replaying the exchange frame by frame, analyzing every word, every pause, every expression. Denise, meanwhile, was ushered into a quiet dressing room after the show. She sat down heavily, the adrenaline finally draining from her system. A producer checked in on her, asking if she was all right. I'm fine, Denise said softly. Just tired. She knew what would come next. She had been in the industry long enough to recognize a cultural flashpoint when she saw one. By the time she left the studio, her phone was already buzzing nonstop, messages from friends, fellow actors, journalists asking for comments. Later that evening, Denise broke her silence with a brief but measured statement. She didn't attack Piers by name. Instead, she spoke about the importance of compassion in public discourse and the responsibility that comes with having a powerful voice. "I believe in free speech," she said, "but I also believe words can hurt. We can debate fiercely without losing our humanity." The contrast between her calm tone and Piers' fiery online response only fueled further debate. On his evening show, Piers addressed the incident head-on. He stood behind his desk, staring straight into the camera. "I was kicked off Loose Women today," he said. "Not for being rude, not for being abusive, but for refusing to back down." He framed himself as a victim of censorship, a man punished for saying what others were too afraid to say. His supporters applauded his stance, while critics accused him of twisting the truth and ignoring his own behavior. Media analysts weighed in the next day. Some argued the producers had no choice, pointing out that the discussion had clearly spiraled out of control. Others questioned whether asking him to leave only proved his point about intolerance for opposing views. As for Loose Women, the show released an official statement defending its decision. It emphasized their commitment to respectful debate and the well-being of their panelists. Denise returned to the show the following week. She received a standing ovation from the audience as she walked on set. She smiled, visibly emotional, but when the host asked if she wanted to revisit the incident, Denise shook her head. "I've said everything I need to say," she replied. "Let's move forward." Yet moving forward wasn't easy for anyone involved. The clash became a reference point in discussions about modern media, free speech, and accountability. It was replayed in news segments, debated on podcasts, and cited in opinion columns. Long after the episode aired, people were still arguing about who was right and who was wrong. In the end, there was no clear winner. Piers Morgan remained Piers Morgan, unapologetic, controversial, and louder than ever. Denise Welch emerged as a symbol, for many, of standing firm without shouting back. And Loose Women became the stage for a moment that captured the divided mood of a nation struggling to define the boundaries between honesty and empathy. One fiery clash, one empty chair, and a question that lingered long after the cameras stopped rolling. In today's world, how do we speak freely without forgetting to listen?